That should bring us live on YouTube. Now, for those who didn't catch yesterday's stream, this is a game called Pacific Drive. Pacific Drive is an interesting game in that pretty much what the gist of it is, we are in the Pacific Northwest United States that we're in vaguely like Oregon, North California, South Washington, probably more Oregon, North California area. I actually don't know. Someone would be like, this is the exact road you're on, you're exactly this location, and they would probably be right. But you're in the Pacific Northwest, you know, lush green forests, all that kind of stuff. And as far as we could tell, you were doing a delivery of some nature. In this universe, there is an exclusion zone. That basically they discovered this stuff called limb technology that was supposed to be this revolutionizing technology that was going to make the world a better place, near infinite power, promises of like literally like alchemy and teleportation and all these kind of things. So like super tech. But what ended up ultimately happening is something went wrong and they built a giant wall around the entire thing and they said you're not allowed to go in here. And basically trying to get everyone to forget it ever happened. So you're driving around the outside perimeter to get past it. When things get trippy and you get pulled into the area. And what we've learned so far is, in desperation to survive, we find this beat-up old car, we get in the car, and we manage to reach this garage to safety. And we are informed this car is what's known as a remnant. And a remnant is this thing that you, like, a person and the remnant, they kind of get bound psychologically, that they develop an obsession with whatever the thing is that's remnant, which is usually an inanimate object like a blender or a paintbrush or a car or something like that, until that obsession eventually drives them mad. And so we've been warned that we've got this connection, and we're going to lose our mind. So while in theory we could leave at any time, the problem is, as long as this connection exists, our life is in peril. And so we're trying to find our way into the deepest parts of this area to find answers. And where we're at is, there is the outer zone, the mid zone, and the deep zone. We have just reached the mid zone. And so we're going from there. It is not a horror game. I would call it a little spoopy. In that, like, you don't have things jump scaring you. There's not, like, vampires or demons or anything like that. Instead, what you have is you have, like, kind of creepy things. Oh, I forgot we hadn't emptied our car. I forgot about that. Because I needed to wrap stream yesterday. But the gist of the game is, if you ever played a game like Escape from Tarkov, the extraction-style game, that's pretty much the same style game this is. I'm closing that door so it's not as loud. But it's an extraction style game, except for being a first-person shooter where you fight stuff and all that kind of stuff. Instead, what you do is you drive your car in and you collect various stuff. So you're getting in and out of your car, collecting goodies. The catch is, if you die, you come back and you only get a very small amount of the stuff on your car, so you can kind of limp it back in here. Can't remember if I had stuff over here as well. Okay, I did not. But yeah, so you limp your car back, and then you just deal with what you got. They do have lots of customization you can do to your car. So you can make your not so interesting car way more interesting. And there's lots of upgrades you do. So there's a resource you get from the stability beacons or whatever. I always forget with this door, if I don't hold E, I actually climb in. But we can go through, we can fix a bunch of this stuff up. Alright. So yeah, so if we look at our screen here, it's warning us, it's saying, hey, our trunk is damaged, our back corner here is in bad shape, a bunch of other stuff is pretty damaged. I don't remember exactly what we've got going on here. So we've got some steel doors and panels and a headlight. So let's grab this headlight. We can swap this out. Alright. So that'll require repair putty and everything. That's not happening. This light... Actually, you know what? I wonder if this will fix this light. This cabinet will slowly repair stuff that you put in it when you're not here. So usually what I'll do is I'll take my most damaged pieces and I'll drop them in here and all that. But you can upgrade all of this stuff. Hey, Streets Mage, it's going good. And hey, Night Dweller, how's it going? Alright, the next worst panel is this front one. Actually, yeah, this front one. Okay. Now, in some of the cases on these, the cost of making a new one is cheaper than it is to repair them. So there's lots of times I will just build a new door and just chuck the other door in the shredder. Oh, and the music of this game is excellent. Oh, hay fever? Yeah, no, I've got... Hay fever runs in my family. I was fortunate that I don't have it. But, I've definitely known plenty of people who have it. It's not a good time. Okay. So this door, not making the cut. Get out of my life. Alright. So I'll need to make 2 doors. Oh, before I make all these, I should check. I don't remember if we did our research after the last one. Oh yeah, the one I deal with is I don't know if you'd call it an allergy in the sense of, like, when people are talking about, like, you know, breathing and all that and having those kind of allergies. I just remembered I didn't take everything out of here. Yeah, so there's a little bit of inventory Jenga that happens. I actually want to keep some snacks in here. Oh, I don't want that. This is the lowest quality tire. I don't need it. What's wrong with all my questions? They're questions of a sane man. What's happening with all the test dummies in the zone? What was Raymond doing with his hands? How did the old ladies turn into Russians? I don't know. Alright. Yeah, we already did research because they've got no unstable, corrupt, or stable energy just laying around. Okay, that's fine. And the only reason I wanted to check that is, let's go to our various stuff and start replacing the damaged stuff. So this door, junk. And then we'll get ourselves a new door. Not that one. And our bumper on the back is pretty wrecked. We can shred that. The limb pulse thing is worth actually repairing. I don't really have room for it. With the steel panels being as cheap as they are, I'm just gonna shred this panel. And when you shred it back, you get like 50-60% of the materials back, so it's not great, but it could certainly be worse. Alright. And the reason I'm doing this as opposed to making the stuff to repair it is the repairing stuff requires chemicals, and chemicals are much harder to find than metal. So, like, I could just shred some junk cars up and have all my metal recovered, but finding the chemicals, you gotta get real lucky with the cars. Or, wait. Oh, there you are. Okay. Later on, that'll change once I start getting nicer panels. Oh, I need to make a headlight. Oh, right, we can make the off-road tires now. Hey, summer tires? Okay, so all of my tires I have right now aren't as good as what I can make now. So all of these tires, welcome to the trash. Yeah, it's so easy to mess up your sleep schedule. But it's, when you get on the missions, there's all sorts of stuff that some of them will just, like, grab your car and yank you this way or that way. When you get to the mid-zone, some of them get even more dangerous. I believe we saw, what was it called, a pit pocket? That I would be sitting there, like, working on, like, I'd be driving through the area, and I just see this thing running away with one of my headlights. And that can actually be really dangerous in some of the maps that are, like, super dark and hard to see. So basically, we're upgrading all of our tires, which will be really good, because those tires I had before are really bad at off-roading. Versus we have off-road tires now, which do extremely well at off-roading. Okay, is there anything else that's still damaged on it? We have our side lights are damaged. I actually don't like the side lights, and then this panel. The panel's probably in good enough shape I could just keep it on there and not worry, but we're starting to push into deeper areas. I'd rather just play it safe. Where's that panel come from? There you are. Yeah, so this light, I've been entirely unimpressed by. There's probably better ones later, but I haven't gotten them yet. Oh, they have another steel panel here that's mildly damaged. We're just going to toss this in the shredder as well. Does fresh mode grass bother you? Not much. So, I think it is the grass pollen, but the only time I've had real problems with it is if I get both wet and I'm dealing with grass pollen. So, like, if I've been playing out, like, if I go swimming in a pool and then I go out and I run around in the yard, that'll make me a rashy mess. So I think I do have an allergy for grass pollen. It's just, it's not very strong. But I've not ever had it where it didn't involve both. And it's not chlorine, because I've also had it where you're playing with water balloons or hoses and that kind of stuff. And it's the only thing I really ran into as a kid. Okay, so we can get some upgraded stuff. We can get ourselves a lead-lined lab coat to give ourselves a little bit more resistance to radiation. We're wearing all the others in the others we don't have materials for. Okay. Cool. So I think we are ready to rock and roll. Our gas topped off. I don't remember what we have in here, so I've got the auto seat thing. Nothing in this side. Was there anything I needed to craft? I likely already have the large fuel tank stashed aside. I would like to make the turbo engine. I do not have roughly any of the things I need for that. We have the auto parker in there. Okay, so we don't have any new things to unlock right now. Okay. So now we've got our car all patched up. You don't need to... Oh, and also, your car develops quirks, as you can see that yellow prompt here. So if I go to this terminal... Oh my god, I have a lot of quirks. Okay, so we're going to do a 2-second peek, see if I can't suss out any of the quirks. Alright. Something happened with that. So I'm trying to do is I'm trying to see if I can't make my car act up in any way. Because there are quirks that make your cars do all sorts of weird things that you have to troubleshoot. Let's turn on the engine. Oh, the engine's been on. Okay, nothing with the windshield wipers. Alright, nothing obvious. Oh, let's do... Okay, so that's one quirk I've got isolated. I've seen that one a number of times. So when I go backwards, the hood pops. Alright, let's just quickly fix that again. So, diagnosis. Oh, it's not on the pad. And some of the quirks get real dangerous. Like you can have it where it pops the door off. I keep letting it drift back too far. Yeah, it says connected up there, so... Alright, so what we do is we go over to this terminal over here, we say, okay, so when my car moves backwards, the hood opens. Yes. So, for one mechanic's kit, I can repair that. Can I unmark you? Because I'm not going to make that. Mechanic's kit. So now I can go over here. And I can make it all better. The problem is, I don't know what the other three were, and we did a quick, like, run through of the things I could test really fast here, and none of them gave me an obvious answer. Okay. Oh, I can add more to the side of my car. What do we have I can put on the side of my car? We have side storage. Side storage it is. Alright, so we've got a fuel canister. I probably don't need the extra... Well, actually... Let's put the big food thing in one of these cabinets. Grab a stack of the small food. Pop over here, drop that in there. Is there any other tools I've got stashed in any of these things that I care about? I'm not going to use the flare gun, so the flare gun can go right in here. But as well as things that just because I didn't mess with the last time, I'm playing a little catch up. Just trying to remember where I left off with stuff. Okay. So. I have a gas can, an extra crowbar in here. Well, extra pry bar is basically spent, so we'll just put it in our inventory. Put you up here, grab you down there. Alright, let's grab a couple kits to bring with us. So I will make... 3 sealing kits. 3 mechanics kits. Some jumper wires. And some electrician kits. So basically, I'm putting a bunch of stuff in here where if things go wrong, I could get myself out of a lot of binds. If we can make some repair putty, we'll put that in here as well. And I don't think we need a light. I've never really needed a light repair kit on the go, and all that. Yeah, no, the music in this game is a bop. Just absolutely. I'll leave those alone. I think we're good. Do I have a hand vac on me? I do not. So let's make a hand vac. Alright, what else do I need? So we can make the plasma scrapper if we get gears, and only use a little bit of plasma. As far as I can tell, the only real benefit of the plasma scrapper is it lasts twice as long, and it cuts a little bit faster. But for the higher material cost, I don't know. Yeah, we should be good. All my other tools are in good setup. Yep. So now we choose where we're going. Oh, good. We're still trying to make it, or I shouldn't say good. We are currently trying to make it to the wall. So I got to go to this destination to reach there. So we're going to be dealing with one map that's going to try and sap my battery. So we need to go through that one using very little power. I don't know what disruptive discharge is. But yeah, so we're just trying to get through this successfully. Because of what we're going to have on this particular route, it's going to be a route we don't want to stick around. So this is not a loot goblin route. This is a get it done route. Also, the story is good. How goes the drive? The story of this game is amazing. I've had a lot of it spoiled just because there's a bunch of content creators in my circles who have been playing it, and while I did deliberately try and not watch a lot of it, it's not like I didn't see any of it. Alright, so this area we're going to is going to have battery sapping, which is going to drain our battery faster than normal. Unlike real cars in the real world, in this game, your battery does just slowly drain even while driving. So, stuff like headlights and that drain your battery, we want to be sparing in our usage of. Need to invent alternators? I know, right? Like, I'm down for when your car is parked and doing nothing. That's like, yeah, that should drain your battery. Like, if you're just, your car's not doing anything, engine's not running, yeah, drain the battery. But, when you're getting to, like, the real areas and all that, like, when you're running your engine. Let's see. I got quirk, do we? Yeah, no, I had 4 quirks. I was able to fix one of them, but the other 3, we weren't able to positively identify them yet. And I have to positively ID them before I can fix them. So I'm grabbing some materials before. This is not the map that has the battery sapping. So I'm trying to grab a little bit of materials before we hit the battery sapping, because once I hit the battery sapping, then things will get way rougher. Should be a building on our left over here somewhere. There you are. Okay. Let's see, you might have something that's less noticeable when you do something, the radio changes or something like that. Yeah, and that's what it is. Like, oh, radiation. I actually managed to get through the radiation without even taking damage. Yeah, no, more than likely it's something... Oh, here's one. I should test my horn to see if it does anything. Because some of the ones that get, like, really bad is, like... You turn on your headlights and your door falls off or whatever. Excuse me, we don't want any today. The thing will grab your car and drag you around. But, if you throw something at it, it'll grab whatever that thing is and take off with that instead. Yeah, but what loot gobbling we're going to get to do is going to be just this tile. The real fun one is getting some of them to do stuff like there's an anomaly called a tourist. That the idea is when you interact with them, they explode, and it could do like a little damage, cause some radiation, that kind of thing. And getting stuff to like grab the tourists to chain react explosion where you don't even have to worry about is always amusing. You love this game because it's pure sci-fi. There's an old world, you know, and the new world that you have to learn the rules for. Yep. Throw a flare against anomaly just like Rimworld? Absolutely. Everyone knows the secret to defeating all anomalies is flares. Let's be fast, because we know we're going to have a battery sapping one. Yeah, with battery sapping come up, I'm not going to take the time to shred that. Let's see, what happens if it grabs your car while you're looting a building and you come back into a car? So you get an arrow pointing in what direction your car is from you on your UI. So you'll be able to find it, but it can be bad that you're just not in a safe place and it grabs your car and drags it away from you. And so now you have to chase down your car and all that. Or like it pulls it down a hill, so now it's gone down the hill, but your car doesn't have enough traction to drive back up the same hill. Yeah, no, you're in your car, have like a bond to you. Ooh. Do I have a Liberator on me? Probably don't. I do not, which is a shame. That's okay, we still get good materials out of a, armored plates. Because if I had a Liberator, I could pop off this door and take it as my own. But without a Liberator, you have to take them apart. Which means you'll lose most of the materials. Well, we only got one of the valuable stuff. Big reason I'm worried about not keeping my headlights on any longer than I have to is I don't have a setup to recharge this car yet. This run, we're not that far in the game, versus my other run, I've gotten spoiled and have that. The other run is just a hair past where this one is now. The one I was doing off stream. And I stopped there because I didn't want to spoil stuff so you'd see it on stream versus off. Alright. I'm trying to get as much loot from here as I can, just because I know the next area is basically how fast can I get through this zone without dying. Maybe... Bulbs to lead platelet. I don't really need lead platelets that bad. Hey, Chunky and Funky, thank you so much for the raid. I do hope you had yourself a good stream. And what were we streaming today and all that good stuff? But welcome in, raiders. Don't mind me if it seems like I'm rushing. I may be rushing. Alright, let's get out of this tile. Yeah, so like, for example, we have a total of 50 battery power. We're already down to 44. So, and this isn't even the worst tile. It's the draining tile in the next one that's gonna be the real kicker. Streaming Yu-Gi-Oh! And needs some food and wine, so we'll be lurking. No problem. You go do your self-care. Thank you so much for that raid. Totally understand anytime anyone raids, like if you gotta dash to, like, you know, hit the bed, get to a meeting, eat your food. You know, the raid's still super appreciated. You know, obviously everyone's welcome to stay, but, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. Alright, so let's get to our next tile. So this next tile is the one I have to really rush through, because it's the one that's got battery sapper on it, and I don't have a means of recharging my battery yet. So, if I stay too long, there's that. So, as tempting as it is for me to go and just want to total loot goblin every car I see, I need to not do that. Because the zone after this has unnatural darkness, so I need my headlights. My bad. Get off my hood. I do see we have 2 anchors along the way. I'll probably grab those in the drive-thru because I think the sapper only takes an effect when I'm running things that take power. Oh, that's bad. That's a lot of damage if I get hit by this. Okay, we didn't get hit by the main thing, just got a little zapped. The good news is, getting electrocuted does recharge your battery. Just a little. Oh, hey, hi. Oh. Just do a little damage to ourselves real fast. That's a repair station, if I'm not mistaken, and I believe it'll recharge our battery a little bit. Alright, so top off our gas. And meanwhile, while that sits there, I'm going to run over here and grab the anchor and bring it back. Because the good chance I'm going to need as much anchor power as I can to the next tile to get out quickly. So it is worth me grabbing the anchors, that way if I get to the next tile and it's super awful, I can just be like, cool, I did the story thing. Hit the get out of dodge button, and then, you know, drive fast, good friend. Low key, when you get a ridiculous amount of storage, if you know you're gonna have a map that's probably gonna have these, it can be worth your time to bring a panel or whatever to fix it if you don't have room in your cabinet. And those will give me flat tires. Yeah, normally in runs I really like to loot Goblin. You don't know how much, I'm just like, but goodies. Okay, so there's that anchor. What are you in the middle of? Well, that's annoying. Radiation. There, I feel like pretty germ-free after our bath and lots of radiation. Okay. Okay, so one of my headlights is sparking from the getting electrocuted earlier. Alright. So we're getting it through here with pretty solid power. Because I'm doing the thing I shouldn't do, which is driving in the dark. Feeling better about the game selection? I mean, low-key after stream yesterday... Sorry, not yesterday, the day before. Almost didn't see that in time. This is why in real life you drive with your headlights turned on. Okay, it's just lead plate. I can skip that for now. But, I forgot how much fun this game was. And so after stream, I played my offline save file to the point where it basically finished just where I'm at right now in the game, so I've technically spoiled the tiniest bit. But then I did make myself stop progressing the story, so I wouldn't spoil it, so, you know, for stream kind of things. Alright, so we're through the power sapping one. That was the one that worried me the most. So this one we have Eerie Darkness, Disruptive Discharge, and Swift Storm. I don't know what Disruptive Discharge is, though. Oh, I think Disruptive Discharge is when you get electrocuted, your car starts doing weird things, like the headlights will flip on and off, your horn will honk, that kind of stuff. Most of it, you have driven forgetting to put your headlights on in the past, but luckily my headlights are automatic in your current car. I've never had that problem personally. I didn't check. Can I? Oh, you're already collapsing? Need to get down to that road. Alright, so hopefully that's a very reachable spot. That warning was basically saying, hey, I'm gonna collapse soon. Which is the reason we grabbed those anchors in the last zone. So we're going to that column of fire in the distance. Oh, that is collapsing way faster than I expected it to. Well, I mean, all you can do is drive for it. What do the anchors do? So, the anchors, when I put them in my car, I'm collecting materials. Alright, we're just jumping it. They give you a resource you use for research outside of missions. And I have a flat tire. No, bunnies, 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 please. Please, bunnies, let's be cool. Let's be cool, bunnies. You suck. You suck. Stop doing all the awful things to my car. course, that's a hill. So the reason I didn't drive straight at it is this car cannot go up hills very well. I could probably get past this. No, don't, no low traction beeps. All right. So we're taking a lot of damage really fast because we're in the red part. But we're gonna make this one. Your car seems kind of slow. Yeah, no, I have a flat tire. My front left tire went flat when I did the jump. Okay. So we didn't really get...
That thing you saw was not Bigfoot. Never was. Never will be. Don't let Tobias and Francis fill your head with that nonsense.
Alright. Yeah, so we didn't collect very much materials on this one. But we needed to do that route to discover the path to the next route. Let's shift you over, put you up there, drop you gear in here. Drop you in here. Alright, we can grab all this. That's not what I wanted to do. At some point I need to sit down and do some more decorating in my car. That's fine. Okay. All that said, that wasn't too terrible. We didn't gain materials on that. It's gonna cost me more materials to fix it, but we did reveal the route I needed. So let's power you up. Yeah, so tires aren't in too bad shape. We do have a flat. So let's just go ahead and I'll just make a sealing kit. Which that's the reason the car wasn't running well. Alright. Take this headlight out, we can put in the cabinet. We're gonna do a quick swap of parts. There we go. Music's important. Alright, so this door is the one that's in the worst shape. And this panel in the back here looks like it's the worst one. I think all the ones that are like light blue or like mildly damaged, I'm just going to leave. And I'll be fine. Okay. Got this back door is a bit damaged. And honestly, upgrading that cabinet is probably going to be one of the biggest upgrades for us. We've got a bumper we can replace, and then that's all the stuff we've got, just replacements laying around. Front bumper is the only bumper that has any meaningful damage, so chuck that in the ground over there for a moment. See, that is the bumper that's my anti-bunny bumper. So if you saw at the end there I had those things latch into my car and we're doing a bunch of damage to it, that's entirely what that's for. Alright, so I've got 3 of these panels that I don't have room to deal with, so... just get rid of them real fast. Yeah, so it's mostly just the front of the car that took the damage, and it was mostly those bunnies that did it. Like, the landing popped my tire, but otherwise, the bunnies are the ones who did all the real damage. But before I do that, we did get a little bit of stable power. What did we unlock? We can get a side fuel tank. The thing that lets us jump, which is pretty useless early on because you just jump and smash your car up, and then, you know, that's not particularly helpful. I can almost... Actually, I can get a roof rack. I don't have anything I can put on it yet. So the armored one, I have to scan stuff I haven't found, scan stuff I haven't found, scan stuff I haven't found. We would need to scan stuff. Liberator. Liberator's a big win. It's a bit expensive materials-wise, but I can go up to those armored cars and steal their armored panels. Even before I'm capable of crafting them. Extra scanning. That's the one that lets me repair stuff faster. We can get more storage. Let's go for the roof panels. So the roof panel was... 2 more metal sheets. I can make those easy. Because these are the things that once you unlock them, you have them forever. So with this, I now have a roof rack that I just have forever for now on. I don't have anything to put on it, but I can't get the things that you put on until you've unlocked it. So the other thing I can still unlock is this. And that means we're all out of the stuff for that. Alright, so... I still have some side panels to do. I could also get more side storage for right now if I wanted, which may not be the worst. Because that way if I get like an actual run where I can sit there and just... farm materials, you can do that. So there's 1, 2, and I need 1 more. And 3. And you can paint your car up and make it look real nice. I just haven't bothered. Do I replace... We probably should replace it. And the rest all looks relatively okay. And that's because all this, like, the stuff I need for these steel doors is really cheap. So taking the time to just pile it up is not a big deal. Alright, so materials we have on me. I have 2 mostly broken pry bars. Pry bars are really, like, super easy to come by the materials, so I'm not worried about that. We have in the trunk. Trunk is ready for stuff. On our side cab, we have a bunch of our common repair stuff, an extra gas tank, and all of that. So we're good as long as the arena isn't closing in. I'm set up to be able to handle most things. Let's leave that up here in case I go to get a spare tire or something. We got an extra storage here. I don't have anything else I can put on the sides other than storage, so just in the off case we get like super duper loot goblin-y, we could just go like this. For even more loot goblin. Alright, now with that, I have my route revealed to get in here. So I will be dealing with a bunch of unknown conditions. Alright. Anchor party is really good. Anchor party means there's a ridiculous number of anchors on the map. So that's one we should focus on the anchors because it's not unlimited time. This one we'll want to just race through because it says there is no time and there's almost no anchors. So yeah, we're just going to rush through that zone. And then the last zone is the story zone, and story zones have what's called perpetual stability, so you have all the time in the world to actually, like, do the story stuff. Okay, is there anything I'm missing? You need a little bit more gas. Just double check making sure you're full. Okay. Yeah, and it's basically saying that I've got minor damage on the back half of the car. I don't think it's going to be worth me doing all those panels. How badly are you damaged? Just a little. Okay. Yes, I think that's all fine. Yeah, no, I think we're good to go. I have 5 quirks now. All right. Just doing a 2-second check real fast. Make sure you don't have anything extreme. No, nothing obvious. Yep, no idea. All right. No, there's nothing like turn left, door fall off or something. Because that happens, and those are those ones that you're like, no, you have to fix this now because trying to do a mission with your door popping off at random is not a good time. Okay. And I still have to watch because I still don't have a means of recharging my battery. Other than getting electrocuted, which in a pinch can be a strategy. Oh, I meant to make my flashlight. Oh well, it's too late for that now. I must have overshot the cabin. That's fine. I'm not gonna worry about the cabin. What does it say? Vehicle health empty when you enter the zone? It's just a thing it does. It marks it as empty until it loads, and then it, you know, then it stops being empty. All right. Yep, so while we're on a relatively safe map, I'm gonna gather some materials. Because once we leave this map, then we get into the whole thing of dealing with all sorts of threats. I missed a couple pieces of metal, but that's okay. Yeah, that car's truly got nothing to offer me. Here we go. Alright. So the things I care about is this panel and this door. The rest of it I just want to grind up. So I should have a liberator in... Did I forget to make it? No! Okay, well, it's too late. It's fine. If I had the liberator, I'd have pulled these panels off and used them as my own. But I forgot to make it, so... Can't do the thing I forgot to do. Yeah, this game's a good time. Time to go home then? The problem is I don't have an easy way to go home right now. I have to get to a zone, have to do the thing where I extract, so it just means that it's just not something to worry about. It's okay. Like, getting the armor panels early can be nice, but it's those things that you can very easily lose them if you, like, lose a mission or you take a bunch of damage. When your vehicle takes damage, there's different status effects that parts can get. And one of those status effects is fragile. And fragile basically means, for all intents and purposes, that part is done. Like, you can't keep it in good repair anymore. So, snagging a good part early can be a very good helpful thing, but it's not that big. That's actually one of the things I feel like works out well with this game. Is in games like, for example, Escape from Tarkov, like, losing your main kit if you're still early game can be, like, really rough. In this game, you can bounce back really easily. And we got a storm rolling through. Just a regular storm of some kind. I don't want to stay in this too long, it's radioactive. Don't mind the bollards outside doing their thing. Oh, I don't have a pry bar. Yeah, I wanted to make that, but I just didn't have the materials. Oh, it's over here, that's right. Because those chemicals are a really good material to get your hands on. Oh, and yes, you can slam your head with the door. It doesn't do much damage, it's like 2 or 3 hit points of damage, too. Nothing like a seatbelt? It's an old station wagon. Seatbelts were optional back then. I'm not saying they should have been, but they were. Alright, so this zone has a ton of anchors in it. It doesn't have unlimited time, though. So we are going to mostly grab what we can in the pass-through. And then the next zone is the one we just want to hustle. Yeah, so I'm going to go up towards these two over here on the right. I'm going to focus on them versus loot goblining, because being able to get a ton of anchors in a short period of time is really nice. Like, if I see, like, an ARTA vehicle or something like that. Excuse me, this is an unlawful gathering. I'm gonna need you to disperse. Oh, well, that sucks. Didn't do much damage. Steering wheel looks like it has no round part to the wheel. Oh, it does. It might just be hard to see because of the lighting, but it does have a round part to it. You can get a there's a bunch of like cosmetic ones that you can find in the game. My single player playthrough, I have a steering wheel that looks like it's built out of an erector set. So it's like a bunch of metal bars like bolted together for a steering wheel. I'm really hoping this is going down into a valley and not up. Yeah, this is going down into a valley, so that'll work. But pretty soon I'll cut across into this area. There should be 2 anchors down there. And then I'm going to try and cut the whole way across to the city on across the way. I don't think we're going to go for that north one. I feel like that one's too far out of the way. I need you to have opening in your guide rail, please. Hold here for a moment. Top off our gas real quick, because... Wow. That fuel barrel does not hold much gas. Race just up here. Kill the lights. Hop on out. Okay. That's 1 anchor. There you are. Grab the next one. Start playing with those. There we go, good enough. All right. really hard to fight the temptation not loot goblin every one of those buildings. Okay. Oh yeah, no, the pit pockets are way worse. So the abductors just grab you and they pull you around. I am gonna go for this one. This is being a little greedy, but I'm feeling pretty good that even when this thing closes in, I have plenty of time to just make it down that main road. Just gonna race up here and grab this anchor. And I saw the anchor, I'm just trying to turn around. Looks like a jellyfish? Yeah, I can see it. Alright. We're not done yet. Okay. Alright, so we're almost about 20% down on our battery. Knowing that we're going into a zone that has unnatural darkness soon. Which will mean I'll have to lean on my headlights a lot to get through there. I think I saw the anchor just to my left. Yeah, there's the anchor. Do we have windmill thing helping the battery? Not yet. That's the reason why I'm in a rush, is I don't have any of the stuff unlocked to stabilize the battery. So I don't have the thing that collects rain or steps getting, you know, draws lightning to a lightning rod or the windmill. Any and all of those would make it a lot less of an issue, because then when I get like bad weather, I know to just kind of hang out for a little while and let it charge. Hey. Ah. It's fine. Alright, we get zapped a little here. I'm accepting it because it'll give me a little bit of a charge if it happens. There we go, one more anchor point on the left here. And if the zone isn't collapsing at that point, we'll loot this last building on the right. Alright. Cool. So that's definitely going to be a going crawfishing in the guts of an alligator. What? I have no idea what you mean by that. Okay. Alright, so there's the building on the right. Oh, fishing in a very uncomfortable place. Yeah, gotcha. Ooh, dumpster. Dumpsters are good. These have a lot of at least okay-ish materials. Grab the replacement flares. Cool, so we've got all that. And realized I hadn't scanned the sky like puddles. Alright. So now I can go way down here. There's one more building on the left. Surprisingly, we haven't had the zone start collapsing yet. I kind of figured that was going to happen while I was going for the anchors and I'd have to miss an anchor or two. I'm really happy about that. With that much of the anchor power, whenever we get to the last map, as soon as I want to leave, I should be able to say, that waypoint, let's get out. That's a regular car. I'm going to leave it alone. Remote, I wasn't sure if it was a what do they call them, the scout or squire, but you can have some armor and that on them. Okay. Fabric to copper wire. Not really worried about that. There's my cue. Any quick bags we can grab before we go? It's time to leave. I mean, it got more done before that started closing than I thought it would, so no complaints here. I was just excited about getting all the anchor juice. You couldn't hear the warning? You can hear the game, right? Just double check, make sure the mixer is set. Because you hadn't been able to hear the game then. Okay, so it is set to the correct output. Let me scroll down here. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, because like the you hear like the klaxon being like, "Mang, white." That's when you're like, oh, it's go time. So high instability, awful zone, violent discharge, lots of awful things. We're not gonna. Oh, I didn't scan the repair place the last time. The no more fun alarm. Yeah. So this one has no, like, if you look on there, it just says none. That's interesting. It says that. I can't remember if that means it'll stay stable forever, or it means it's gonna be, we're gonna basically drive in and the siren's gonna play immediately, and it's like, oh, it's time to go. With all the anchor energy we got in the last one, like, if there's an anchor point like directly between me and where I'm going, I'll grab it. But we're probably just gonna rush through this zone on to the next zone. Because unnatural darkness is also going to be a pain, because it means I'm going to need my headlights almost the whole time. Which is going to put a pretty good drain on my battery. That we're stopping for, though. You here? You here we're stopping for real fast. Let's keep moving. Yeah, that's exactly why those trucks are generally pretty good loot. And worst case worse, I do have some jumper cables in the back as well. I'm pretty sure I just drove over the top of a guardrail. Yeah, so the none basically means, like, yo, the storm's gonna start closing, like, right away. Why is it uphill the whole way? Try and sneak around behind that. No, go away, bunny. Go away, bunny. No, you don't. Okay, I did dodge it. Alright. That's the reason it's like swerving back and forth, is trying to get it to lunge at me and then me turn the other way before it actually landed. No! Oh, there's gonna be some damage. I'm taking it. Yeah, I mean, it got me a bit. Let's be fast about this. It'll just have to do. And I'll sit here till the storm gets to us. But I had noticed I hadn't scanned it the last time. And it did give me a, full charge of my battery, which is the big thing. I wanted the gas too, but I didn't pull up where I could reach the gas can with it. I had more than enough time. I'm panicking a little bit too much because some of the maps that circle closes real aggressively. Alright. And now this zone should be way more relaxing than those other zones because this one has perpetual stability, which means if it does collapse, it's story-wise. Like, I'll do the story stuff, and then I'll finish the story stuff, and it'll be like, oh, it's time to collapse. You finish the story stuff here. Okay. I really appreciate the controls in this game. Like, the driving, they've got nailed to feel, like, really good. Alright. So let's do some loot goblining. And just grab what materials we can. I won't stop for every one of these cards, I don't think. Do you have... I don't have enough gas to be worth my while. Alright. Now let's eat some of this food. Because we're a little bit low on life. Okay, so that car actually has a good amount of gas in it. So let's pull up to that car. Both those cars have gas in them. Alright, so let's pull up our car, top off our tank off those two. Alright. The fact that, like, the gas can is duct taped or something up the top there was always weird to me. Alright. And top this off. Okay, so we got a full tank of gas and ready to rock and roll. Cool. To be fair, those emergency siphons are a product of a lost age. Yeah, but I'm referring more to the, in the back there, where that siphon, like, where the little gas can is. Like, you look at that little gas can, and it very much is just, like, smashed in there with, like, a bunch of duct tape or unidentifiable sticky substance. And you're like, but why? Oh, I thought that was a squire at first. I have been betrayed. Dumpster, why would you do this to me? You're supposed to be the friendly dumpster. D20? Not guaranteed to be balanced. Okay. Hey. Don't do that. Alright, we're certainly finding some weird stuff here. Oh, I don't have... Here, I probably have... Put that in my inventory so we can heal up as we drive around a little bit. Alright. Heal up a little bit more. I turned on my headlights. Glad we noticed that before we got too far. Alright. So we've got an anchor over here. Cars need some loving. Yeah, I do have a bunch of the repair putty on it. If we do get to the point that like parts start going darker, we'll do that. Aren't you gonna need toilet paper? You'd imagine it'd be a short supply in this region. No. We're pretending we're survivalists and just being gross for no discernible reason. Alright. Definitely want... So, I think the biggest priority we need to do right now is give ourselves a means of resupplying electricity. And once I have the ability to resupply electricity, we'll be pretty good there. You could, but if we're a self-proclaimed survivalist, I mean, clearly we need to be as unhygienic as possible. That's my understanding from everyone I've seen who...
There's the expansion wall. It separates the outer zone from the mid-zone, and more importantly, us from those two idiots. This will get you one step closer to the deep zone. It's far past its prime, so watch your step.
Basically, I'm making fun of where, like, people ask, like, they're like, oh man, you know, survivalist, like, amazing, yada yada. And then half of them, it's all talk and no substance. Wipe their, let's see, fun fact, the ancient Greece used to wipe their hind ends with smooth pottery shards with names of their most hated enemies engraved in it. I feel like that's kind of one of those things that's more urban myth than reality. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if they use, like... I mean, even the pottery thing is, like, pottery's not cheap. Yeah, that feels like one of those ones that, like... You know... All the stories you hear about, like, various different groups over in the past that end up being completely baseless, that, you know, you can't really prove them wrong, because you can't, it's very difficult to, like, disprove something as having happened that is wrong. Like, so far as, like, if someone claims that, like, oh, this important person met this other important person and had this exchange, it's really difficult to disprove those things. Whereas, you know, when someone says, oh, like, this never occurred, you know, you might be able to prove by, you know, having the example of being like, actually, I can show you when it happened. Oh, let's turn off our engine since we've been here for a minute. That's how you deal with those? Yeah. And not only that, they actually give you a rare resource sometimes. They give you the heat crystals sometimes. There's more ways to get heat crystals than just them, and they're not a reliable source for them. But you can usually get from, like, killing a crowd or two of them, like, 1 or 2 units. And it only takes, like, 2-3 units to build, like, a door or a panel or something, so... I hear it. There you are. So it's not a bad idea to, like, take the time to do it. But if you had a pot that shattered, it is a bummer that it happened. You got TP shards. But also keep in mind, you have a pot that shattered, and it's gonna have edges you're gonna have to smooth out and everything. More than likely, they just rinsed. You know, paper back then would have been a valuable commodity. Actually, with the ancient... trying to remember timeline. Yeah, no, they had paper. Of a form. Oh, right, we're supposed to grab that. But yeah. I love the warnings on flares that says hands only. Yes, hot flare with hands. You can actually find molecules on pottery shard with mass spectrometer, which can indicate what's touching it. Yep. I'm not saying that this is 100% like not true or whatever, because I haven't looked into it. It's more just those types of stories you usually hear about, and it's one of those things that you know, you go into it after the fact and realize it was not really a common thing. Like there's this whole story about like the Romans would eat a whole bunch, go off and vomit, and then eat a whole bunch, and then go off and vomit and do like that thing. And it's not that it may never have occurred, but if it did, it was not a common practice kind of thing. It's one of those things that's more myth and legend than reality. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if there was, like, an emperor who did that. Don't believe everything you read on the internet. Abraham Lincoln. Absolutely. You can trust Honest Abe. Sounds like a brochure festival. Oh, I bought you a festival? Just so you find someone did one something doesn't mean it's common. Exactly. Well, that's one thing you have to realize when we're researching history. There's sometimes we can get like lots of information around it. Like with some of the Native American tribes, for example, we have lots and lots and lots of record because we got lots of living individuals who were part of the culture, who documented stuff and all that. We got a lot to work with there. So we can go into a lot of that with a fair bit of confidence. Okay, so I got 2 anchors down here. And the heat vents. So let's park up somewhere in between. And I'm going by the giant opening in the wall there. Probably our destination. But first, let's deal with this. Oh, hi, giant murder saw blade. That's the material you want to get out of them. This right here. The thermosap crystal. It's not super rare. But early game, it's kind of hard to find good sources of it. So you see, like, I've just taken out this whole group. I got 1. Yeah. No, there's lots of stuff, because you got to keep in mind the Romans existed before germ theory. So, like, to them it was just is this kind of gross? They aren't thinking about it from the hygienic standpoint of germs, because those aren't something we really figure out till later. Like, there's some people who theorized stuff like that back then. And they did figure out, it's like, okay, there's certain behaviors that when we're finding people do tend to cause people to get sick. But they didn't realize there's like itty-bitty teeny tiny organisms that get in your body, and those organisms, you know, they cause you to get sick and that kind of thing. Oh, I'll throw stuff in the trunk. Oh, we have another one of these. Let's toss you over here. Keep you. Are they crystallized humans from the accent? I think it's unspecified. I know they have like a they have like a log about them, but I don't remember what all it says. They're probably the spookiest thing in the game, because they do that whole thing where you look away from them, and then you turn around and they're closer, but they, you know, there's no sign of them moving. It's just, they go from point A to point B. Wait, can I make a liberator? I probably can't, right? No, I need more pressurized cartridges. Okay, so shred it. All right. Oh, just straight on through? Okay. The question, can you kind of taste good? That is not the question. I feel like, unless you're in a dire situation, eating the nightmare creatures probably is always the right answer. I've said always the wrong answer, sorry. It's probably never the right answer. Doesn't feel like it's the right way. It's like with Project Zomboid, all up here is like, why am I not allowed to eat the zombies? I'm like, why would you want to? Like, what logical sense would it ever make to eat the zombies? You generally never want to have a creature eat others of its own kind. It's a good way for any disease that hits those creatures to get around really easily. I don't care about the rest of those. To assert dominance. But that doesn't really accomplish that. Ooh, hey. Give me that crystal. The rest of you saw nothing. Oh, come on. And I know I can break those for plasma. Right now I'm kind of in the I have to use my headlights because it's so dark in here. I'd like to get through this place as fast as possible, since I don't really have a means of recharging my stuff. And it does look like I might have another zone after this zone. It is what I think it is. Excellent. Alright, just topping off the old gas. The idea that I have this tiny fuel can in my trunk, and I can empty a nearly full fuel barrel, and it's not like a full fuel barrel is not enough to fill that little can, amuses me. Pocket universe siphon? Exactly. Gotcha. Yeah, and I'm guessing schedules change. That happens. That is one of the reasons why we do like have the whole conversation about always having to be mindful of playing games that you can have growth on them and all that. For that exact reason. Even but you know, schedules change and all that. So you have to be like constantly replacing people who either they lose interest in your stream or they can't tune in because of schedule changes or whatever. Like we've had that whole dialogue. All right. So we are on to the next zone. Okay, so we have perpetual stability.
Hello, friend. Welcome to our side of the wall. Oh, what's this? Your connection's wobbly as jam. Worry not. Our signal is crystal clear.
A little bit obvious, don't you think?
Right, ask me if I can. Yeah, the mid-zone's been marinating in all this radiation for so long. Things don't work the same as they do in the outer zone. But the good news is, we live here. We can help you. No sweat.
First things first, we've got to extend the signal from the garage. Otherwise, Obby's equipment won't be much help. Hooking you into a mid-zone stabilizer should do the trick. Look around. You should be able to see one up a hill somewhere.
Alright. I'm assuming the giant tower ahead of me. Maybe I'm gonna try and be sparing. Let's see. Yeah, it's impossible to catch all the streams you like. I think everyone runs into the problem that sometimes on this platform. First, we're trying to find new channels. Then we follow more channels that we can realistically watch. There's that also too. It's especially like one of those things that like you'll have a channel you really enjoy, and you know they'll go on vacation or whatever. And then while they're on vacation, you'll go find someone else to watch. And then when they get back, you kind of have to make that decision. Okay, well, they both stream at the same time. I can't necessarily watch them both. But, like, which channel do I choose kind of thing. I mean, some people are down to watch multiple at once. I know I do that. But there's definitely those who... That's just not to get going. Hey, Zopper hitting your 15 stream streak, 1-5, so congratulations on that, and your extra 450 points. Alright, so that's a material that I've only now been able to get to here. So, we're on perpetual stability until we advance the story. So we definitely want to grab everything we can while it's safe to do so. Oh, wait. I gotta scan things. Don't you do it. I see you over there. Go away. What did you steal? Give it back. Oh, you stole a flare? Never mind, you can keep that. Bro, stop touching me. Hey! Bubblegum buddies aren't your buddy. No, they like stick on your car and pull you around and do all sorts of annoying stuff. Are you just a pile of wrecks, or are you like the electric one? You're a pile of wrecks, okay. I also just realized I never went to this panel. When you subscribe to the selection menu, the sub tiers months, it should add auto renew. It would solve the problem, but of course, it's more beneficial to them if paid subs renew by default. I was looking up. That was a lot of damage. Let's hit our hood with a repair putty. So what I kind of want to do here is I kind of want to ignore the objective in case these are unstable or corrupted cores here. How are we doing? Yeah, fuel's fine, gas is okay. Or sorry, battery's okay. Fuel and gas are the same thing. So I want to kind of run down here, just check to see what type of power cores we're dealing with. If they're corrupted power cores or unstable power cores, they're hard for me to get a hold of right now. I think it'd be worth me driving over and grabbing them, then circling back to the objective. Because the last time I hit one of these stabilizing things, the moment I hit it, the zone started to collapse. A cough box. Okay. I mean, it definitely looks acidic or corrosive or toxic or whatever, something that would be real bad for metal. Okay, they are unstable ones, so yeah, we want these. Because I've been able to get a couple of these before, but not many. And again, Night High Lord on a 10 stream streak. Thank you for catching the last 10 streams without missing any. Does mean a lot that you could keep tuning in, and congratulations on your extra 450 points. Alright. Yeah, because the perpetual stability, as long as I have that, grabbing at least the more valuable materials is certainly worth doing. Okay, so we can grab this last one down the road here, and then we make our way back up, do the objective, and most likely it'll want me to race down to this exit point anyways. Which will also, like, give me a chance for... Hey, stop it. Stop it. Let go of me. Okay, stop. Bubblegum buddies. Really, really, really hands-on, like really, really clingy, really touchy. They really need to learn to ask first. And not just assume I wanna be all cuddly and everything. Yeah, they're bad with consent, I agree. Thank you. Oh, hey, another one. Alright. Orb, let me ponder. Maybe they just need a hug? That's fine, but consent is still required. You still ask first. Cool. And then this will be the last anchor. And then we'll just run up, we'll complete whatever the objective is, and get the heck out of Dodge. Alright. The favorite part is probably always the garage. Hope it's next. Curious to see what the priority is. Oh, like right now my biggest priority is going to be getting some way of recharging my battery. Because that is the pain point we have at the moment, is I don't have a way of recharging my battery. I would love to get the armored plates as well. I suspect you gotta scan more before that'll be an option. Alright. Like sussing out quirks, you do technical repairs. It's kind of like work. The part I like. Yeah, no, it's sometimes though without like the upgraded one, it really is. Let me just hit all the things. It's like, all right, well, do I drain my battery the whole way to see if something happens? Do I drain my gas the whole way to see what happens? Like some of them could be real subtle stuff that you may not even run into in a normal run. Alright. Oh, I thought I got past it. No pop tires? Okay, we're alright. You just bought Baldur's Gate 3? Nice. I enjoyed what I did play at Baldur's Gate 3. I just had real difficulty finding the time to actually make progress in Baldur's Gate 3. Because, like, it's not a game that did well on the channel when I did play it. It's very, very misaligned to the type of games I normally play on the channel, so it's just one of those things that's not doing well. Which, to be fair, this is also fairly true of Pacific Drive as well. You liked watching Baldur's Gate 3? Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, there's always going to be some number of people who enjoy watching and some who don't. It's just a matter of the normal people who tune in.
Stabilizer in Section D is online. Coming through loud and clear. Hey, Francis, pan the car's broadcast frequency to the stabilizer, would you? Hey, come on, I can't do this without you.
Fine. There. Your receiver's hooked in now.
And we're patched into all that sweet ARC device data. Nice work. Oppie won't be able to block us out anymore. Well, better get going. Here it comes.
Why are you not letting me... Why are you not letting me... Oh, it's already locked in. Okay. Okay. So I was like, please, I need you to be locked in. I can't leave without you being locked in. Alright, let's get out of here. Alright, we're on the road. This game is also pretty. Yeah, no, it's a shame. This is going back. I know I vent about this a lot. It's a shame these days on Twitch, a game has an incredibly short shelf life, unless it is one of like the handful of giant games of the week. Because it's a shame games like this, they get their 30 seconds in the sun, and then they vanish from the platform in a meaningful capacity. And you can play them, but like, you can just see from the viewership tonight how much it can kind of hurt, where a lot of my regulars aren't tuning in. It's also Friday, which is a little bit on the quiet side, but even for Friday, today's stream is being extra quiet. It's because I'm playing something outside the norm. I've been playing too much RimWorld lately, so I've been starting to... How long do I have? So let's play it safe. Let's play it safe. We don't want to drive all the way out here. I've got parts of my car getting compromised. I was just looking at the Arda truck going, but I want it. It could be mine. Like, you just die in the situation because you want to get out and look at every, you know, at the pretty sky? Yeah. Well, that's, you can do that in, like, the stable zones and all that. What? Wait, we have, like, 1 second. When is it? I've never seen that be a gas truck before.
Was hiding a magic teleporter? We could have been beaming all over the zone this whole time? And don't worry, I'll restore her connection once you do us a little favor. We suspect Darby's hiding a copy of Arda's database in that auto shop of hers. Find it, and we can get back to this remnant business.
I'll take care of that as soon as I'm done dealing with my loot drop-off.
Right, I've identified the electrical circuit for the garage's security system.
And there's an Arda security lock in that circuit. So once I do this... Yeah, bingo! That security lock's powered on now. Try that overload code from the observation towers. 4735.
That was a lot of chemicals. I appreciate that. Oh, new paint job. Alright, grab all of you. So the extra light I will stash over here on the shelf, because why not? Put the flare gun in here, because I don't actually care for the flare gun that much. Or, that's fine, you can keep it. Alright. Oh yeah, no, this isn't one of those games that makes you remember it. We'll probably just walk up, hold the button, and it'll take care of it. We've had to enter a couple of codes now, and they all were working in that way. Thank you, though. Alright.
Driver, something you should know about that database? When Arda's funding began to dry up, they handed us our final paycheck with one hand and the same-day evacuation orders with the other. Abby was a higher up, though more entitled than an actual power by that time. She would have known about Arda's plan to close up shop and had enough time to download all the research data before losing access. That data could contain what we need to help you.
Okay. Alright, and they want us to use the...
Look at all these gizmos in here! Arpia wasn't operating no normal auto shop. A fabrication station. Ooh, her personal vault? I bet there's some good stuff in there.
I'm uncomfortable intruding like this. Can you not?
Hold the phone. There's a machine that prints bobbleheads? Oh, you did it! Hey, you actually did it! Boy howdy, I cannot wait to dig through all this data. As promised, I'll fix Oppie's connection.
Do you read me? Come in. Do you read me?
Loud and clear, you old bat.
I see. The comms clear up suddenly, and I find you two patched into the garage frequency. It all makes sense now.
No idea what you're talking about. So, Oppie, what's the plan? You must have some grand scheme, don't you?
Let me get this straight. You hijacked my mission, tapped into my frequency, and now you want to be all buddy-buddy. Not on your life. You think you're hot stuff. Why don't you take the lead then? Get the driver through all by your damn
guess it's our time to shine. So, Francis, you got any ideas?
Well, we know the driver needs to get to the deep zone, but it's too dangerous to head there directly. We have to zero in on exactly where to go. The signal amplification trick won't work here. The ambient instability is too strong in the mid-zone.
Huh, how indeed. There was one other time where the mass hallucination and the remnants intersected. Drive, I've tagged a route for you. Whenever you're ready, give it a spin.
Okay. I just didn't want to start messing with stuff and explain what I'm looking at while they were all dialoguing. Okay, so we got 8.7 stable stuff and 2.9 unstable stuff. Trunk in her trunk. That is potentially really good. Not worry about the fuel. We definitely could use... Oh! I never scanned the wriggling wreck anomaly on this save. Ah, that sucks. That's like a blocker for almost all the really good tech. Okay. So... you could spend anchor energy to help scan. We could make more scans happen. We can get more locker storage. So let's not worry about that. That requires corrupted. We're doing pretty good on our tools for right now. I'm not going to worry about that. I would like to get armored stuff if possible. We can get the armored door. So I might need to make a quick detour to find some place that we have the, there's stuff. Okay, so I need to find a belching barnacle and a shaggy scrambler to get the other armored parts. I'm pretty happy with the tires we have. So tires we have get a B rating on roads, but AA on off-road and A on water. We can get ones that are a little bit better for, like, they're slightly worse in off-road, slightly better on roads, and have more health. Or we could start leaning into that kind of stuff here. Extra large roof storage. Yes. Uh-huh. The greed lives. Trunk in her trunk. I don't have enough fabric for the trunk in her trunk. But I can get the 2 steel plates for more roof storage. And with 2 roof storage, we can basically ignore storage as a mechanic outside of extreme situations. So we can go 100% full-on loot goblin. And with that, we have achieved maximum greed. We can go here. Alright. Man, I can't believe I missed scanning the stuff earlier. Because what I need is I need to get this so I can get these other items behind it. Because, like, they'll make it so when it rains, I recover power. You can get, like, wind will recover power, sun will recover power. But they're all locked behind that. I've driven through during the stream at least 4 wriggling wrecks. I just didn't realize I hadn't scanned them on this character. I could get part lockers and all that. I don't feel like we need those right now. We have to scan a bus anomaly. What are you? Oh yeah, the super bright headlights, which the good news, they use the exact same amount of power as a regular headlight, so I want those. Because why, if it's going to take me the same amount of power, would I not get a better headlight? You're a blocker for a bunch of things, even though I'm not going to probably use you. Yeah, almost all these are just more fuel storage, which isn't bad. Because I can put a giant fuel canister in the back seat, and that'll be good. Let's get the improved antenna because we can. Because all these things, once I've unlocked them once, they're unlocked forever. So there's no wrong answers on what you can pick up. There's certainly, like, this is more optimal than the other. Not what I'm grabbing specifically, but just in general, that's the choice you're making. Just, oh, if I grab this one earlier, it'll help me more than if I grab this other one. Okay, so I have nothing left you can grab under the workbench. I can grab the beacon scanner thing. I actually wasn't super impressed with the beacon scanner. We can get a crude flashlight now. I imagine eventually I'll want the auto-tracking spotlight, but we'll worry about that later. Where else do I want to put my money? Oh, there's like a backseat tank and then like a big backseat tank. Leak-resistant fuel tank. I kind of want to just save my energy. Yeah, I think we're just going to save my energy until we scan the other thing so I can get the power stuff. Alright, so with that said, let's start going through here. So I can make the armored doors now, so that's the first thing I'm doing. First we'll get a backseat tank. And this is just a giant gas reserve. So it lets you be a little bit more reckless with your gas and not have to worry immediately about running out. Now, downside is that gas reserve, if I'm not mistaken, doesn't go directly into your tank. I have to grab the gas can, pop over here, which means I should actually go like this. Chuck you on the ground, grab you. Go to this side. And the reason I'm doing this is that way all my gas stuff is on the same side, because I'll just make it faster that, like, I grab my gas can, I grab from here, I drop it in there. You get the idea. Okay, so with that, I can now make armor plate. I don't have enough fabric for the giant rooftop storage. That's a bummer. That's okay. The bio lights I would need swamp coral for, which I don't have, which is fine. All right. So the reality is, now I can make armor stuff. Yeah, no, it's that is one of the dangers that when you're streaming, like, so you're doing multiple playthroughs at the same time versus when you're playing on your own. When you're playing on your own and you're just doing the one save file, you usually don't have to worry about the mistake of, did I, like, you know, I remember scanning this, and then you realize it was on a different save or whatever. That's the only thing you run into when you're running multiple saves. Which is usually only a concern when you're playing multiplayer games, that you have, like, the save you're playing with friends and then the save you're playing by yourself. Or, like, content creation where you're, you know, you have your on and offline stream save. Alright. So I'm just shredding all of the steel doors, because now I can make armor doors. I really have no reason to ever use a steel door again. Outside if I really messed up. Okay. Alright, so I need another armored door. That's saying you're still at a steel. Oh, right, you're a door as well. Now, with the armored doors, that's where you start getting into making the decision going, okay, do I want to use the putty or the armored door? Because those thermosap crystals do take a little bit of get a hold of. If you're getting into the mid-zone, though, they're not too hard to get there. So now we've got our steel panels. The steel panels, I do think, are worth actually taking the time to fix. Okay, so you're repairing that. Let's grab that bumper. Have you in here. Yeah, steel panel. Alright. Oh yeah, so in these back ones I can actually put 3 panels in there. That's good. Let's just do that real fast. Alright. Soon enough I'll be replacing the panels as well. Okay. Oh, never mind, I can only fit 2 in there. That's fine. Let's grab our headlights. There's one of the good headlights. There's another. Put the other ones in the cabinet. Alright, these ones get shredded. I think the intent is that you'd actually take the time to get the chemicals to repair those versus just making them and then shredding them again and again, but that's fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4 panels. One, 2, 3, 4. It's usually around the time that I'm armoring up the car, and I say usually as if I've done a bunch, but when I've gone to deal with it, once I start armoring up the car where the panels are worth like repairing and all that, that's when I start putting like all the cosmetics on there. Like they give you plenty of cosmetics. Like this is all cosmetic stuff here. But it just doesn't feel like it's worth the time. Let's go ahead and make another one of the limb bumpers. That way I can have one on the car and then one, you know, in repair at all times. Okay, so how are your stats doing now? Pretty good. There's nothing else worthwhile I can put on the side right now. I mean, really don't, like, I'm about to put the top storage on, so we probably don't need that. The side fuel tank I probably won't end up using. That'll be more power. Let's see, why do you want anything other than the Foxwood paddling? Oh, they've got some pretty fun designs. They've got some, like, really, really fun designs. Oh, is that the mystery machine? The weird wagon? You've got, like, the government one, we've got the thing, we got the retro stripes. I'm actually low on the retro stripes. I'm gonna put some on just to show it. We're gonna have to paint this a different color because I don't really understand what I'm doing right now. Most of the designs I've done... Oh, I see what this is. They're putting, like, instead of having, like, the actual bumper, they're, like, penciled in. It's too faint though. Yeah, that'd be more fun, but it's just really kind of faint. So not super impressed by that one. Yeah, Borderlands car. But yeah, so you can paint it, we can do stuff. I don't want to use the weird wagon right now. We'll just spray paint the car. Yeah, so you can do lots of customization of your car. Okay. I still have enough of that, it's probably worth saving it. I'll replace that with the ARTA stuff, which is like the government agency who ran all this. Alright. Actually didn't have enough to finish the car. Alright, either way. So let's see here. You want me to go all the way up there. I'm probably going to detour a different... Oh, you're already locked in, I guess? No. I'm going to detour that because I don't feel like going through multiple layers of extreme conditions to get there right now. And so I need to scan a couple things. So I'm just going to try and pop into the mid-zone just in general. We'll explore a tile, and we will see if we're all good. Gas and all that's ready? Yeah. Alright. But the reason is I don't want to go through multiple layers of extreme zones if I don't have to. By going this route, I'm comfortable just bailing at any time. So we want to get the, I'd say the prime objective of this run now is to see where there's the big pile in the middle of the road that, like, all the different electrical things pop up all around it. And see if we can't make that happen and deal with that. Because if I can actually sit there and scan one of those, then it'll unlock all the things where I can put all the battery charging stuff. Because doing long fortes without that will be very difficult. Because that means I basically have a timer. I can't do a whole lot to recharge that doesn't hurt me. Alright, so we have a disc in the middle of the map here.
Hey, driver. Sorry about all that mess with Oppie. There's no question, Oppie is a once-in-a-generation genius. I've watched her manipulate wavelengths with nanometer precision without batting an eye. So, yeah, to see her go from being the sharpest person in the room to what she is now is disappointing. This place, it leeches away your sanity day by day. So for Oppie to live here in complete isolation, locked away with only bad memories and expired medication, nothing good comes of that.
I'd feel a hell of a lot better if I knew why she suddenly cares so much about the remnants.
I would like to assign that to a hotbar. So you can make you go away. Alright, so this cassette tape is clearly not on the road. So we're gonna cut across here, find that research tape or whatever it is. Got a building just there. It is. Okay.
Speaking of Oppie, you're not gonna like this, Francis, but I'm starting to think we can't do this alone. Look, it's not that I doubt our abilities, but no one knows the zone like that old bat.
You heard what she said. She'll sabotage this remnant before helping us.
Right. Well, she'll come around to our charms.
No, she won't. Nothing in the 13 years we spent in R&D prove that she's open to working with anyone. She dug her heels in so deep that she wrestled everyone down into the grave with her. I can't be involved if she is.
Okay.
What are you talking about? This is the entire reason we stayed behind, to write the record of the zone. Not about the experiments and the technology, but to tell the legends of the land.
I don't want anything to do with her. I don't want to talk to her. I don't want her advice. I don't want to hear her goddamn voice.
This isn't like you. What's going on, Francis? Is there something I should know?
No.
All your work in limb R&D, all the time you spent, your entire career, your entire life. You sacrificed it all for Ada, and how did they thank you? With a black hole in your resume, where you can't tell anyone what you did. You couldn't even tell people where you wiped your ass for 10 years. So no, I'm not letting this go. Not for me, but especially not for you.
That's not... Never mind.
You know, sometimes I wonder, how much of you staying here was actually to hunt these legends? Or if it was because you had nowhere else to go.
Okay, getting a little... Like, my character's like, why are you doing this on the radio? Could you, like, just... You're in the same building, could you just let off the talk button? I'm definitely feeling like the third wheel here in, like, a domestic debate. Like, where two... Like, a married couple is having, like, an actual serious argument. You're like, I just don't want to be here right now. Can I not be involved in your marital difficulties? They're not married as far as I'm aware. That's just... Clearly there is some companionship of some kind there. Okay. Nothing to play on this? Alright.
Distinct honor to introduce to you the American people, a new scientific frontier with a raw power like limb technology in the good hands of true patriots like Dr. Ophelia Turner. The potential is limitless.
Oh, that's not a little hill. That is straight up a cliff. Okay. I was like, let me just go down this little teeny tiny hill. It's just like, oh, you steep.
The year is 1955. Dr. Ophelia Turner is standing next to President Koch, the top of her head barely clearing his shoulder. She stands, stiff back, her hazel eyes affixed on the glass and steel chamber in front of her. She does not appear to breathe until a ball of light appears out of thin air. The sight is tremendous. A lightning bolt frozen mid-strike, and the reaction immediate.
What does that symbol?
Roars of excitement and spontaneous applause. On Dr. Turner, only a tightening of her lips indicates that she hears the audience at all.
What does that symbol mean on my windshield?
Pose for a picture, She does not smile even then.
Is it
That
cracked?
picture is the image splashed across newspapers and science journals for the next decade. The mother of Lynn technology, they called her. The angel of a new age.
Newspapers at that time laid the titles on thick while peddling the impending utopia. Then she
It is
proceeds
cracked.
into the bowels of a government research facility. She's never seen again in public. There are scant appearances here and there in blink and you miss it promotional videos and blatant propaganda fodder, and then she and the promise of Lynn technology disappear.
Cool. Alright. I've never had my front windshield crack in the thing, so when it lit up, it's like, wait, something can happen to your windshield game? Ooh, that is a solid amount of radiation. Let's add another 2.5k on the... Oh, it doesn't stack. It's just which one's worse. Okay. Alright. Stop with the radiation. Okay. Oh, don't do it. Let go, let go, let go. At least managed to stop that before it took us right into the side of a building or something. Let's check these houses, though. Must have turned my radio off because we're getting no music, which is a shame when the music's as good as this game's music is. There you go. I really needed that cloth. The car's that way. Why are you being weird about letting me in there? There we go. Alright. Yeah, okay, so there's steel doors, so we're not gonna fuss about that too much. Yeah, I don't see the other buildings, so... The light's getting ready to run out. Okay. Alright, so from here we can just go to the next tile, grab some more resources. Alright. Cool, and that'll get us out of the fog here on this map and into whatever the next map has to offer. Alright. So, next map is up this way. So we have two things that electrocute us that we don't know what are. And one thing that is like a thing that launches your car we haven't identified. So more than likely we're going to find the twitching wreckage or whatever it's called that I'm needing to fix my battery problems. And then once I get that, we'll be able to just, scan through real fast, or not scan through, like, research really fast our way up to, at least having some way of, recouping battery, whether it's rain or electricity or whatever that hits us. Extreme conditions, shocking speed. I'm assuming when I get shocked, We go real fast. I scanned you already? I probably have. I'm a little worried because we're gonna need our headlights this whole place, just like the last one. There we go. There's what we're looking for, so let's back off a little ways. There we go. The wriggling wreck is scanned. Oh! Oh wait, never mind. I had a spare. That's right. Okay, so where is... That's not the right door. Where is... Okay, so I'm gonna think we just go for the anchor. We're not gonna go and fuss around at this zone too much. Try and go here to this anchor down here. It's hopefully not too steep this time. There you are. All right. Now we're going to try and make it back up to the road. All right. So just trying to grab all the materials we can. I'm not going to stop at all the buildings or anything, just it's right here. Okay. Alright. So we're probably still coming up on that wriggling wreck, so let's... Yeah, so wriggling wreck was just over there. Try to avoid any severe electrocutions if we can. It's important to have music. You should keep the things that bring you joy. Alright. Because I'm hurting a little bit on plasma. Okay, I need was electricity's kit to get in here. Alright, electrician's kits. It'd be nice to have a map that isn't pitch black for once. Alright. Alright, let's try and not burn up that light too much. We're gonna go ahead and run over here and grab this since we're nearby. Bring it back. And move on to the next place. Okay. Honestly, I feel like that's probably the biggest thing here. So I'm not going to stick in this area too long. We're just going to go ahead and make our way down to the next zone. Because the unstable anchors are like the important thing. Let's see if I can't get around it without getting zapped. Are you gonna move? Oh, come on. Oh, you suck. Oh, okay. We weren't close enough. Alright, let me through here without zapping me, please. What are you? Oh, it's just, okay, it's just the regular light. I'm not gonna fight with that. It's just a regular light thing. It's just, I could only see like this weird, ominous, what looked like a gravestone being lit up. I'm like, what? Oh, I just realized we don't have the limb thing set up again on their controls. The go fasters. I know I shouldn't hit it, but it's like, yeah, I want to hit it. We got a big open area, but nah. There's a lot of them on this map. Usually only see them, like, before a ramp onto, like, over a truck to jump a wall or whatever. Okay. The storage thing is worth looting. Alright. And then just around the corner will take us out of this area. Oh, come on. That's why you want your headlights so you can actually see what's coming up ahead. But, like, the fact that you drained your car so much, it's so hard to justify. We're already about a third of the way through our power. Which is why I need to get the battery stuff, because then I have solutions to that. Like that rain earlier could have fully recharged my battery. We had windstorm earlier that would have fully charged my battery. If it's daylight, you have a solar panel that can charge your battery. Alright, so we have a lot of things we haven't identified on this map. A lot of which are going to be... You like the wind? Just driving around helps? Yeah, I haven't gotten the wind on any save files yet. My other save, like this save file, I believe is now ahead of the one I was doing off stream. Hello, glowing red thing in the distance. You look interesting. Sap compressor. Ooh, okay. Love that. Spike log. I thought I'd already scanned that, but I guess not. You don't need lead? Not that bad. Normally I take the time to grab it, but like me sitting here just listening to the Geiger counter just tick up endlessly. I can get that in much safer places. I'm also really worried about being here very long, just because of the fact that I don't have a means of recharging my battery. Which is not entirely true. I actually can, recharge it using my, whoa! Dumpster pearl that is huge! I didn't know they came that big. We also apparently found tree candy. What does wet mean? Okay, just steel doors. We're not gonna take time with that. How's your gas tank, man? Basically empty. I've scanned you before, right? Alright. the eerie red glow in the distance, like all over the place. It's kind of a whole thing. Alright, grab all this. I actually have no idea if the loot inside the cabinets and all that changes. Hey, CapCut, how's it going? Yeah, I'm not doing the whole reading thing during a mission. Because it feels like the loot inside the buildings doesn't really change whether or not I'm on a... Like what area I'm in, as it were. At least not noticeably or appreciably. Alright, we got something new over there. Moldy balloon. Rotten egg. Hate all of that. Twisted ember. Right, I do see the bubblegum buddies are basically murdering all of those things. Hey! No, stop it! Go away. Okay. So I'm going to try to do from now is I'm going to try to race down to where the other unstable one is. Grab it if we have the time. So try to grab it. Around then will be time to get the heck out of Dodge, if not sooner. But I am noticing all 4 points are on this one main Rona, the outside. That makes me feel pretty decent that, in a pinch, I could just drive really fast on the road to get the heck out of trouble. So we got a bunch of scans on new stuff here. We've got some new materials. I'm still trying to keep an eye out for even more stuff that would be beneficial, but we got a lot of good stuff on this run already. My day's going pretty good. You've been thrown up all day? That's not fun. Hopefully whatever it is something that you've either already got resolved or, you know, you're getting looked at or whatever's appropriate. Yeah, I'm not going to stop for the buildings. We're just going to go right on by. Alright. Ooh, a lot of goodies here. So you're giving me tree candy. All right. So gas gauge looks fine. Battery's getting to be about halfway down, not quite. Alright. So it won't be too much farther to the next anchor. And like I said, I am starting to feel like we're gonna be pretty close to... Stop it. Stop it. Not nice. No. Stop it. Okay. Alright, meant to do this. I believe I can use that to get those things to let go of me. It just costs a lot of battery power. Alright, well, I see it. I'm just gonna sit back here away from all that corruption stuff. Alright. Okay, time to get to our car. Drop this all in. Get here. Hey, bubblegum buddy. Don't screw with my car, especially while I'm not there. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is It got picked up from on Suckers as bullying. Which is understandable. Like, the only reason I have it allowed is I have to click out of the window and do all that stuff, and it's... To me, it's not urgent. Alright, so let's get to where we're at the straightaway here. And once I get that straightaway, we'll activate the thing, and we'll get out of here. How are we doing time-wise? What we'll probably do is... Once I finish this route up, whatever... what game am I playing? I am playing Pacific Drive. It is an extraction driving game. So think of Escape from Tarkov, except for instead of killing each other and then trying to loot and scoot, you're dealing with a very hostile environment, but also loot and scoot. Those are waving a lot. Are those actually an anomaly? But it has a bunch of like spooky stuff in there. It's not. Who are we talking to? I stream on TikTok, YouTube, and Twitch. Twitch being my main platform. So if it ever seems like I'm talking to someone who's not there, that's usually what's going on. These days, you're going to find most channels who are trying to full-time stream are going to be doing that, with the exception of some who are well-established enough that feel no need to. Alright, so now I just need to drive into the column of light before every, reality itself collapses in on us. Oh, that was bad. Alright, well, we popped a tire. We're driving with a flat now. I look the side and miss it. As slow as that's going, do I stop to patch it? No, I think we just go with it. It's gonna hurt our handling and our speed, but I feel like getting out, going into the trunk, grabbing my sealing kit, patching up the tire, then running back, getting back to the car, and then driving. I'm better served just driving it out and then patching it when we get back home. Plus, when I get back home, I can just chuck it in the cabinet and just put a new tire on and make it a later me problem. Alright. Yeah, besides, we're making good time. The yellow zone closed in fast, but the red zone in this one isn't being particularly quick. Yeah, we didn't see a purple thing flying from the outside, so... Alright.
Gateway opens like blah, 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 and the car goes pow. Sensors go.
The Shillosphere, oh, it's my favorite part.
All of that was very technical. Thank you, Tobias. Alright, so let's drop off all of our loot. Oh, I forgot. We actually got 2 of the pearls. We got this one giant pearl that says it's wet, and I don't know what that means. I also don't know how to check that at this stage. The potato cup? Oh man, that thing is worth some goodies. It's just this aspect. Some things don't like being wet. Gotcha. So it'd be something like electronics don't like being wet kind of deal. Alright, and keep taking all this stuff and stashing away everything we're getting here. Yeah, or a battery. I can see that. Got our cosmetics and our radio transmission. And that's all of our get ourselves out of trouble emergency stuff. Newsflash Seattle. January 29th, 1968. Today sees the opening of a landmark class action lawsuit by the government employees who allege that the state of Washington knowingly sent them to perform what they are describing as a profoundly dangerous and extremely unhealthy duties that have resulted in long-term illness. Cool. And we can drop off all of our paint and designs. And then these are all like our bobbleheads or whatever. Oh, I had another cassette tape to throw in here. Alright, so before we repair anything, let's pop in here and see what we can unlock now. Can I go and put more armor on my car? No, we have not seen a belching barnacle or a shaggy scrambler. That's okay. Our main objective here was to get that. So that we can start getting the battery stuff. So we go to our battery stuff. I can get the mini turbine, which will give me battery for drive, like anything that blows wind. We can get the one that works when it's raining. Let's see, most storms, raining or no, would charge pretty fast. Yeah, and that was the thing, like, it almost felt like if you did, like, the wind and the other one, that's enough. Let's get a trunk in the trunk to expand our trunk storage. So now you got more storage there. Alright, so what about our armor? So we still can't do any of the armor on the car, that's fine. We already got the better headlights. And not gonna worry about the tools quite yet. We got our upgrade benches and all that. So I need more marsh eggs for that one. That requires more plasma. More plasma and crystals, sorry. Limb magnets. I could get the rapid refuel. But I mean, refueling my pump never felt like it was much of anything to worry about. The tires, I'm not too worried about them. Because like these tires, there's power grip tires, but they eat a lot of power. Otherwise, the paddle tires and these other ones, I'm not super worried about. I kind of like the tires I've got. I don't think we'll be changing much. Augmented trunk space, which requires corrupted stuff. I'm not worried about most of the gas stuff there. The electric stuff seems fine. The ion shield. Alright. You can also get our other cabinets that are bigger. Oh, that's a pneumatic one? Okay, so this makes it so... Oh, okay. So I get a ton more storage if I do that, because like we get an underground storage. We also have these. Let's see, but there have been so many patches since you last played, I have no clue if they changed it. Oh, I have no idea. Like, this is still my first playthrough of the game. Let's get the bigger cabinet. All right. Yeah, if I had the marsh eggs, the expanded matter thing and the repair station feel like those two would be the big ones to get. But I need more marsh eggs and then whatever that's going to require. Okay. We can get the better flashlight as a possibility. We have tires. I guess let's keep unlocking the stuff up the battery path. You're terrible at finishing games? I actually, normally when I'm playing games off stream, I much prefer to play through a game and get it all the way to completion than like hop back and forth. But with content creation, like it is one of those things that you're at kind of the mercy of your audience, where if something just isn't landing or isn't resonating with your audience, you can be stubborn and still play it, and a little bit of that can be okay. But it's just kind of one of those things that you gotta understand you are potentially, you know, doing stuff that could be harmful for you and all that. Alright, I don't know what the leak resistant one's about. Man, I still have lots of upgrades you can do. We can get the better flashlight. Because I'm just kind of like, we have the energy, let's unlock it all. Alright. The only thing we can still unlock is something under headlights. It's the flare gun. I'm probably never going to use it, but then I won't have to worry about lighting up being like, hey, you can do something under this category. Okay. You can recharge the car. So let's focus on first the stuff down here we can potentially get. So, where would you go in the car? Goes into seat rack. So it's capacity 20. Okay, so basically it's just like the backseat tank I already have. It's just more able to take damage without problem. Alright. So let's get the mini turbine. And we have the overtop storage. Let's see if we can't get one of those going. I don't have the fabric. Alright, that's fine. I do think we're not going to be using all of these side storages anymore. So let's take this side storage off and shred it. That'll give us a little bit of fabric. I said a little bit of fabric, but that's actually a good amount of fabric. Oh. Oh, that changes the whole UI. So I never need to take stuff out of here. Like, I use it from here most of the time. So it feels like the stuff that is just raw materials. Huck all of that in there, and then save these other cabinets for stuff like flares and anything else I might actually want to take out. That's... Well, it's nowhere near as pretty of a menu. For all practical reasons, that's just better. Okay. Like, if I had to take stuff in and out, that long alphabetical menu might be kind of a bummer. So honestly, with that... So you've got all my repair stuff in it. Let's take this off and shred it, because if it even gives us, like, 3 or 4 more fabric would be good. Because I imagine the roof storage is probably just not even similar. Like, it's just way bigger. Oh, yeah, that's huge. So let's pop our tools now back here. Yeah, so that's our tools for various problems. Okay. So I would need 11 more fabric to make the roof thing. I don't think I am going to be using that anymore at all. Because that roof storage is just way, way, way bigger, and I can get 2 of them. Yeah, so I need a lot more for that. Okay, so we still have 3 side slots that are good. I've got a mini turbine. We can get a hydro generator. So that means while we're driving or it's windy, we get power. When it rains, we get power. And then when it's not raining and it's sunny, we get power. And when something goes to shock us or we have lightning, we get power. So the answer is, we get power. That is the one thing we definitely get, is we get power. The steel plate can go right in the garbage. Well, actually, 1 second. Put you here. Alright, and we'll swap what we can for right now. We're gonna get a third panel we can swap out. Alright. Hey, Deuce, I'm doing pretty good. Alright. And the rest of these we're just gonna shred. Might even be worth it to, instead of keeping the steel panels in there, keep the armored panels in there. Okay, do we have any more metal panels to deal with? Nope, so we just need to install those. Alright. So we've got that off-road tire's got a flat and a little bit of damage. Got our 2 headlights. So those are all fixed. That's actually perfect fitting. Okay, so we could actually fit more in there. We've got our spare bumpers and everything. Alright. Yeah, so we still have more room for stuff in here if we wanted, like in our tire and all that. I need to make another off-road tire to replace the one I took off. You have a little bit of a trick you figured out if you're interested? Like what kind of trick? Is it like something like just breaking the game in some way? Because if not, if so, I probably won't use it. Okay, and we're topping off our gas. Yeah, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to go in here, we're going to grab the steel panels out. It said limb bumper on the back works as well. And you already have back things damage it. Yeah, since I have the bumper on both, since I have 2 of them, I've just been swapping them. But yeah, no, I noticed it could work on the back. I don't know, aesthetically it looks way better on the front, which sure doesn't really matter, but also, you know. Okay. Let's grab whichever door's in the worst shape. They're all pretty equal. Go here and make a spare. Down to the worst shape. If the others are in high enough shape, I'll probably just leave them the way they are. Okay. Yeah, so I could take the steel bumper out of here and fit that down there. Sorry, I basically do this. You know, just get the steel bumper out of there, and it would let me fit another door in here. I don't think I'm gonna worry about that though. That's probably fine, honestly. Because looking at this, we don't... Oh, we have a door that needs to be put on. Like, even though we're going to be switching games here in just a minute, I was just like, you know, I want to get to the point where it's like, okay, the car is set up and ready. Yeah, so like, other than just... What are you swapping to? I haven't decided yet. That's kind of the catch. But, as much as I am enjoying this and, like, kind of, you know, selfishly playing or whatever, it's definitely just not resonating on the channel. So, it is one of those things. It'll be the third time I played it, and 3 out of 3 viewership was really low. So, unfortunately, viewers vote with their eyeballs. I mean, not unfortunately, but viewers do vote with their eyeballs. So it is one of those things that will probably be putting Pacific Drive away. I might end up just playing it on my own time, because... Yeah, no, it is also Friday. But even without the considerations of Friday, we're 3 for 3 that it's down, and only this one was done on a Friday, so... Because yesterday you could see when I switched and the viewership was just declining the whole time. The first time I played it, like, it was just didn't go. And I understand, it's far enough outside my normal stuff. I just worry I've gotten my channel pigeonholed into RimWorld, just like what happened with Project Zomboid. That's been hard to get people to want to watch other stuff on the channel. And I will say, when I feel like I need to play a game, I will refuse to play a game. Were you on yesterday? No, I keep saying yesterday. It was my last stream. Was Wednesday. Yeah, this will be Visions, I think. Alright. So let's get out to the main screen and all that kind of stuff. And then figure out what the heck we're going to be playing for the second part of stream. Because it is the thing that I normally switch games halfway through stream. And it's... Actually, it's not early. Because it's... I was like, earlier when I looked at it, it's like, oh, it'll be like half an hour early. But then by the time I did all the inventory management, you know, time goes by pretty quick. I'm going to go ahead and get out of the game real fast and get our normal music going. And stop things on YouTube since we'll be switching games, and figure out what the heck we're playing now. Because I do normally switch the game